Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. We have an update on Riccardo Calafiori from FABRIZIO Romano and a couple of other journalists as well. And we'll also be talking about the latest on Nuno Tavares. Arsenal could actually be about to make a profit on Nuno Tavares. Yes, we had that right, a profit. I did not expect that. I was obviously basically sitting here and waiting for us to sell him for like 4 million because, not too many teams want him, but it looks like you're about to make a profit on him. So we will be talking about that one as well. But let's start with the big story that is on obviously Riccardo Calafiori, the signing that we're expecting very, very soon. Fabrizio had this to say: talks between Arsenal and Bologna will continue the next days in order to agree on total fee and package. Calafiori waiting as he wants to join Arsenal. So we have no problem with the player wanting to go somewhere else. We have no competitors at the moment. We were told last night that Chelsea have given up on signing Riccardo Calafiori. So there are only competition in terms of signing Calafiori. The other teams have gone away, the likes of PSG and Leverkusen and all those guys that wanted him, and Juventus as well. Bologna are not going to sell to them. So our only competition is really Chelsea, but now Chelsea have also given up. Giving up pretty much means rejected them, hopefully. I did reject them, so it's only Arsenal in the deal. And Fabrizio has said the talks will continue the next few days. I think they will accept the 50 million pounds. Actually, we were told that the 50 million pounds has already been accepted, and it's only really remaining the how we're going to pay them, basically the structure of the deal. We already told that the 50 million is pretty much enough for them. It's only the structure for the deal, so that would be easier to do. I don't think it's going to go anywhere else right now. I think it's definitely going to join Arsenal. For how much, we have to wait and see. I think it's going to be 50 million, but we have to know how much they're going to pay up front, if it's going to be installments, how the bonuses are looking. But as of now, I am 99% sure that Calafiori is going to be an Arsenal player. And I'm very close to. I'm going to say 99.5%. There's the only reason for him not joining Arsenal is if he fails the medical or something like that. I don't think anything else is going to happen. I think he's going to join Arsenal for sure. Now, in fact, we got this update as well from obviously Italy. Riccardo Calafiori is one step away from Arsenal. A 4 million contract per season is ready. Arsenal are close to fulfilling the request of Bologna of 50 million euros, bonuses included. So this one is going to be finalized very, very quickly. I have no problem with this. By the way, us working on this deal doesn't necessarily mean you're not working on other deals. No, we could be working on other deals and then just finalizing this one. I am sure we're going to hear Calafiori, here we go, in the next couple of days. And then after that, right away, maybe 2-3 days later, we hear another here we go right away. There's a lot of we're not being linked to 1 million players like Arsenal used to. Back in the day, we'd get linked to 100 players: Benzema, Higuain, and Villa, and all of these players that we were linked to over the years. No, this transfer window had been linked to like 10 players, the same names. You're hearing about the same names: Calafiori, Nico Williams, Osimhen, Gyökeres. Not too many names. It's just the same names. And Calafiori is already about to join Arsenal, and I'm sure this is going to work out. So he's only one step away. As I've said, I'm sure we're going to hear here we go very soon. And as Fabrizio had said, Arsenal and Bologna will continue talks in the next few days to agree a fee for Riccardo Calafiori. The player is waiting, and he's eager to join Arsenal. So that is usually my one or two concerns when you're trying to sign a player is, number one, if the player doesn't really want to join you and they have other options and they're thinking about going to Bayern Munich and thinking about going to Benfica and thinking about going to Atletico Madrid and all that, that's usually a problem. But if the player wants to join Arsenal, that is all they did. He's not joining because of money. We're not even paying him anywhere near 100,000 per week. He's not going to join because, we're in London or anything like that. No, there were so many other teams that wanted him, including Chelsea, who are based in London, but he's chosen Arsenal. Now it's just time in terms of finalizing the deal, and he will be an Arsenal player. So as long as the personal terms are agreed, the other thing that's usually difficult is obviously talking to the team about how much you're going to pay them. But we do have a good relationship with Bologna, so that is definitely going to help us finalize this deal. So really, really happy with how things are going. I'm sure by the end of July we'll have 3 signings. So this Calafiori one is edging closer and closer and closer. You can now dive in terms of in depth. You can go in depth on how good he is as a player. He's very good. He can play left back. He can play left center back. I'm sure he's going to be a starter. Now, in terms of him starting from the first game of the season, that we have to wait and see, especially if Evian is fit. I don't know if he's going to need a couple of weeks or months to adapt to the English game. The good thing about signing these players early is he gets to train in the team early, gets to train the team the whole of July and pretty much half of August. So it adapts in terms of the tactics. Now, the only other thing is how is he going to come up against, the wingers in the Premier League? How is going to come up against the fullbacks going up against him, the strength, the physicality, the speed, the positioning, all that. I'm sure he's going to adapt well, and I can't wait to see. And Gazzetta News, Gazzetta Italia did report that Riccardo Calafiori will go to Arsenal 100%. 53 million transfer fee, 4 million per year. So the 53 million transfer fee, I think they're including like 3 million in bonuses, but the bonuses haven't been confirmed. As we were told last night, the bonuses haven't been confirmed. We are waiting to hear about the bonuses and all that. So I'm absolutely happy with that. Now, why does Ateta want to sign him? This is what we were told by Team News and Ticks. Ateta is a big fan of profiles. Calafiori wasn't on the initial list of targets, but he's basically the exact same profile as the three players that were on the list. That is Murillo. I think it's Murillo, Branthwaite, and Hart. So Murillo, the Nottingham Forest player, Branthwaite, the Everton player, and Hart, the Ajax player. So we were linked to those players, but this guy has become available. I'm sure it'd have gone for someone like a Hatter, but I didn't know like this player would become available, and maybe it's a player that he's looked at for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and he's like, listen, it's going to be available. We have a good relationship with Bologna. How much do they want? Oh, only 50 million euros. A player that many people have expected it to be like 60, 70 million because everyone is asking for a lot of money these days. But for 50 million euros, that is an opportunity they can go for, and they can once and for all sort out that left back position, because we've been rotating a lot over the last 5 years. It's been Tierney for a couple of seasons, it's been Zinchenko for one season, it's been Timber for a game, it's been Tomiyasu for a few games, it's been Kivia for a few games, it's been Tavares for a few games. It's changed a lot, the left back position since 2020. Like 6 different left backs have played for us, and if you compare that to like right back and centre back, you've only really had Tomiyasu, Ben White, and maybe Bellerin playing at right back, and you've only really had Saliba, Gabriel, Pablo Mari, maybe Holding, and maybe one other player playing at centre back. And across the last 2 seasons, we know who our right back is, we know who our centre backs are. Left back is the one that we are never really sure. Some people say Zinchenko will play, some people say Tomiyasu will play, some people say Timber will play. So there's space there, there's an opportunity there for someone to take that position and make it their own. So Calafiori, all the best to him. I think you're going to finalize this deal over the weekend. I think by Sunday you're going to here we go. Let's wait and see. Even by today, who knows? Let's wait and see though. So that's the latest on Calafiori. Let's hope all goes well. But that means a couple of players will leave in terms of the left back. Tierney is already going to leave. He's currently injured anyway, but I'm sure he doesn't have an Arsenal future. But one other player that is definitely going to leave is Nuno Tavares. This is the latest on him. According to Court Offside, Arsenal are ready to part ways with Nuno Tavares this summer, and he'll accept offers between 12 million and 14 million euros. Lazio and Ajax have started talks to sign the player, but nothing is close to being concluded, while there is also interest from English and Portuguese clubs. Now, we've been critical. Someone like a Lokonga, I feel like we should be able to get at least 15 million, considering he did well at Crystal Palace and Luton. But it looks like he would go for something less than that. People have been critical about the Omari Hutchinson situation and all that. We know you're not the best teams in terms of selling. You're probably one of the worst in terms of selling over the years. But if we are able to get 12 to 14 million for Nuno Tavares, that would be great. That means we'll be making a profit on him. We only signed him for £8 million, only £8 million back in 2021. And let's be honest, since he joined Arsenal, I think he did well at Marseille, but I think it's kind of dropped off since he joined Arsenal. Like, people usually talk about Zinchenko's concentration and all that, but I think Tavares was probably worse when he played for Arsenal in that season, his first season, his only season really for Arsenal. The defensive frailties and the positioning and the concentration and going forward and leaving his position wide open, like it wasn't great with Tavares. You could tell that he would struggle at Arsenal. And at that time, he was getting subbed at halftime. If I'm not wrong, he was brought on and subbed off. some time. I think he was subbed off as well against Liverpool after a shocking performance, and I think he was also subbed off at before halftime, I think, against Nottingham Forest in one of the cup games in the FA Cup. And at Nottingham Forest, I've also seen him getting subbed off early as well. So I don't know if it's the English game that is kind of hard for him, because he went to Marseille and he did well, but in England it's kind of struggle. But the good thing with signing these young players, you can always offload them later on. Teams can still want them, and we can still get that money for him. And if you're getting 14 million, that is actually I think 12 million pounds. That would be 11, 12 million pounds. That would be a profit. That would be a 3-4 million profit on what we paid for him, and that would be great. If we've made a profit on a player that I'd be happy if we got the same money that we paid for him. So if we got 8 million for him, I would actually be happy, because his game has kind of dropped off even more since he joined us. But if you're able to pull in 14 million and make a profit on him, that would be great. Another reason it would be great is the fact that he only played 8 games for Nottingham Forest last season, just 8 games. So he didn't really feature at all. He took him out on loan for a full year, and he only featured 8 times in the Premier League, I think 12 in all competitions. And on top of that, his contract is expiring in 2025. So he only has 1 year, actually less than 1 year before his contract expires. So, if no team buys him, we could send him out on loan and then we lose him on a free next season. Or we could sell him right now for 3-4 million. But if we are able to get that 14 million right now, I think that would be great for us. And we kind of have some sort of bidding war in terms of teams that want him. Lazio and Ajax. Let's hope 2 or 3 teams coming. Let's hope we hear, Napoli want him as well. Marseille back in for him as well. And Benfica also want him as well. Let's hope all of those teams want him, and we can at least make some profit on him and make, we can push it as far as we can. Maybe even 15 million. That would be great. But Tavares looks like he's going to be leaving very soon. Barrett obviously left recently. Reyes just been announced as a new signing. Calafiori's deal is progressing. So we're starting to see some movement. It's only 6th of July, but you're starting to hear about 5 or 6 deals. Lokonga as well, and a couple of others. And I'm sure you're going to hear a lot more. We're still waiting on, I talked about Ramsdale in last night's video. Gave the latest on that. Looks like we are not really keen on selling him anyway. Make sure to check out yesterday's video. But it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be a very, very busy month. Let me know what you make about Calafiori's latest update. I'm sure he's going to sign. Here we go. This week, this weekend, I'd predict this weekend. And then in terms of finalizing the deal, I am sure we're going to, here we go. And this will be our first actual signing of the season. Rise our first real signing of the season, because he was not an Arsenal player yet, but this will be our second official signing of the transfer window. I also had an update on the striker yesterday. I know Paul will ask about that one in this video. Yesterday's night's video was about the strikers as well. But as of now, thank you for watching. More updates coming up. Catch me live as always at the usual time in the afternoon, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.